All I cared about was fighting, though.
Yeah.
You know, no, that's all I care about. I sound like a meathead.
Is this your lead eye?
This is my bad eye.
Southpaw? Are you?
No, orthodox.
So your lead eye is okay.
Yeah, lead eye is good. Then obviously, you know, there was, you know, a spiral of depression, if you will. Fucking
of course.
Feeling that my life is worthless and I can't make a living and all the rest of it. And every week I'd have to drive up to Pomona, which is a good enough drive, and see a doctor and have the drips in the eye. And I'm sitting there with fucking 90-year-old patients all suffering with cataracts on death's door. And here I am in the prime of my life. And every week, same thing. You get it, no change. And I kept going up every week, hoping for a change, hoping for an improvement. And there never was. And this went on for fucking months and months and months. And Dana White called me and said, have you spoken to your doctor? I said, no. And he said, well, I have. I said, yeah, what'd he say? He said, you're never going to fight again. Well, I never gave up hope, so I kept going to the doctors and kept trying. And I went one day and my regular doctor wasn't there. And there was a different doctor, and it turns out this doctor had a little more clout, shall we say, without naming names.
Doctor's got clout?
Well, this fucking guy did. I'm not going to give too many details.
Can we drop his name if he's a clout doctor? Is he a good guy
You
or a
want to
bad
see
guy?
Dr. Raymond?
Yeah.
Because I got a few doctors. You know, my one doctor, I don't want to cut your story off, but they told me he was the second best in the country. And I was like, well, who's the fucking first best?
Yeah.
So your doctor, is he good or
yes, well, if you just shut up for a second. You fucking invited me up here and fucking, you know.
I want to talk about
You
myself.
said you were going to send me a car, and no fucking mention of the car, so we drove up here, so just shut the fuck up and let me tell the story. How about that, Jeff? So I go up and I see the doctor, and I go in one day, and my regular doctor's not there.
Yeah.
And he's sitting on the chair, and he's a little chair with wheels, and he scoots over to me. And I'll never forget this, and it gave me fucking chills when he said it. He said, Michael, my dad always told me there's two types of men in the jungle. He said, one man swings through the jungle on a vine, and they wait until they have hold of another vine before they let go. He said, the other man in the jungle swings through the jungle, and they fucking let go. And they hope that they catch a vine. He said, something tells me you're that second type of guy. I said, I am, Doc. I am. He said, okay, we'll book a fucking fight. I said, what do you mean book a fight? He said, don't worry about it, we'll figure it out. You called the UFC, tell me you can fight again. And there you go. 3 months later, I got my ass kicked off Tim Kennedy.
I was with you on that fight.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that you couldn't see because you didn't fucking
tell
really?
Me.
Yeah.
Well, no, of course, it was a massive secret.
But I remember going in, you told me right before you did the eye test, and you go, Box, I can't see. And you went in, and then you came back, and you're like, I'm good. And I was like, what the fuck?
Well, because the hard part is, you know, you get cleared by a doctor, and I would cheat on all the tests. You got to see another doctor the day before the fight.
When you cheat on a test, you have to look at the thing.
Well, I'll tell you that in a minute. But at the UFC, when you fight, you got to see the local doctor. They do a pre-fight medical and everything. And I was like, fuck. So I'm going to train. I'm going to do all this, and then I'm going to fly out there with my team and sacrifice my life. And then I'm going to get checked, and they're going to say, no, you can't. That time, I went in with Jason Perillo. Perillo came in with me. That was my coach. And I came up with a stupid, quick little code. I said, look, listen. Yeah. They cover up one eye and they start holding up fingers. I said, if it's one leg, cough. I said, if it's two fingers, give it a little yawn. If it's three, like whistle or something, you know. Fortunately, we didn't even have to do that because the guy just looked at it and it looked mangled to fuck. And he went, you can see out of that eye, yeah? And I went, yeah. And that was that. Great. And I was like, fucking hell, my heart was going 10 to the dozen.
Did you roll up a stack of 20s and grease him a little too?
No, I didn't. No, he didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah, my eye test, they'll like make me look through the hole and say the letters out.
Yeah.
So that's probably the ones they do now, especially after this comes out. They're not going to be like that.
No. Well, I was in London and I was still trying to fight again. And the UFC, I kind of got cleared, but then the UFC said, we're going to send you through to a different doctor in London. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
They more strict over there?
Well, as it happens, no. But still, anytime you've seen a doctor, I'm like, shit, it's not going to be good. You know what I mean? So I went to see this doctor, and I walk in, and I'm waiting outside. There's an old Indian gentleman, and there was the patient in there with him. It was like a very, very eccentric, like war hero. He was like 90-odd years old, and he was a lovely old man. And he was all hunched over, could hardly walk. And I'm like, because I know I'm trying to cheat on the test, I'm being the fucking nicest, most charming motherfucker to the guy, to the doctor. I'm like, hello, sir, this, that, sir, that, the other fucking...
this one's the bad eye.
Kissing ass in a big way. And the doctor says, I'm just going to walk this gentleman out to his car, because he was an old guy. He said, you go sit down in my office, make yourself comfortable, take a seat, I'll be with you in 5 minutes. So he left me in there by myself, and it was an old school fucking test, the vision test. It was like a triangle on a stand that rotated. And I know to pass the test, you just need 2200 vision. 2200 vision is still clinically blind. So at the top of the test, let's say you got a big massive A, and then below it you got 2, and then below that you got 3 or 4, and then 5, 6, 7. You know what I mean? It gets more and more letters.
Yeah.
2200 vision, you just got to know the first letter and then the 2 below it. So I'm like, okay. C-B-A, turn it around, D-F-E. So I'm memorizing them all. But the doctor doesn't know that I'm trying to cheat. He just thinks I'm here for, as a citizen to check my eyes. He doesn't know the background of the UFC. He doesn't know the UFC have made the test. So he checks my good eye first. And he says, read those letters out. So I read them all. And then he just goes, all right, read the other one. And he didn't move it. So I just, off memory, went, whatever the fuck the letters were. And he goes, yeah, you passed. He said, I don't recommend you fight. He said, but you've technically passed the test. And I walked out. Fucking come on!
And then who's next? Anderson Silva?
Kung Lee in Macau.
And you won that fight?
I did, yeah.
Hell yeah.
And he was on steroids as well.